In the late 18th century, France appeared eternal. A king ruling by divine right, an ancient nobility, a powerful church, and a population taught to obey. But in 1789, something shifted. In Paris, bread was disappearing. In the countryside, anger was growing. And in Versailles, power seemed deaf, and worse, uncertain. The Ancien regime did not fall suddenly. It rotted from within, and then collapsed. And when a system collapses, there is no return. Because the French Revolution was not merely the fall of a king. It was the invention and the cost of the modern world. Today, we will walk through France as it truly was. Narrow streets, hunger, rumors, fear, misjudgments, and a sequence of days when history began moving faster than human beings could comprehend. To understand the revolution, one must first see the invisible map of French society. It was divided into estates. The first estate, the clergy. The second estate, the nobility. And the third estate, everyone else, nearly the entire population. And it was the third estate that paid almost everything. The system was a web of taxes, feudal dues, church tithes, and state levies. In rural France, many peasants still paid their lord for the use of mills, ovens, and wine presses. They paid the church a tenth of their harvest, and they paid the crown. Life remained harsh, uncertain, and tied to the success of each year's crops. And in the 1780s, nature failed. Historians such as Georges Lefebvre and Albert Sobel emphasized that the revolution emerged from these deep social tensions between privilege and labor, wealth and survival.
At the same time, François Furet reminded us that ideas matter just as much. Because once the language of nation and popular sovereignty appeared, it transformed politics forever. The revolution was both a social collapse and an ideological transformation. And the spark that ignited it was hunger. Bread was not a luxury, it was survival. For working families, it consumed up to 80% of daily income. When bread prices doubled, life itself collapsed. Poor harvests, extreme weather, and grain shortages drove food costs beyond reach. In Paris, lines stretched outside bakeries. Arguments erupted. Rumors spread faster than news. When hunger strikes, politics stops being opinion. It becomes desperation. At the same time, the French state was bankrupt. Decades of war had drained the treasury. Tax collection was inefficient and riddled with privilege. Attempts to reform the system failed as nobles blocked any loss of their exemptions. The monarchy found itself trapped inside an unreformable system. And in desperation, King Louis XVI made a historic decision. He summoned the Estates General. The Estates General met on May 5, 1789. Each estate brought lists of grievances: corruption, taxation, hunger, injustice. But voting was by order, not by population. Clergy and nobility always outvoted the Third Estate. Refusing this structure, representatives of the Third Estate declared themselves a National Assembly. On June 20th, 1789, they swore the tennis court oath, vowing not to disperse until France had a constitution. Power no longer flowed from the king. It now claimed to flow from the nation. The revolution was still words and paper, but in the streets it was becoming action. Paris lived on rumor. Royal troops surrounded the city. People believed the assembly would be crushed by force. On July 14, 1789, crowds marched to the Bastille. They sought weapons and gunpowder. After hours of fighting, the fortress fell. Its governor was killed, his head carried through the streets. The fall of the Bastille destroyed fear itself. News raced across France, and in the countryside, panic followed. Rumors spread that nobles planned revenge. Villages armed themselves. Castles were attacked. Feudal records burned. The countryside rose in revolt. On August 4th, 1789, the Assembly abolished feudal privileges. Centuries of social hierarchy ended in a single night. Weeks later, the revolution defined itself in words. On August 26, 1789, the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen was proclaimed. It stated that all men were born free and equal before the law, that sovereignty belonged to the nation, that rights were universal. These ideas seem normal today because they triumphed. In 1789, they were revolutionary. As historian Eric Hobsbawm later described, this was part of a global transformation of political power and citizenship. But France was still unstable, and the king remained at the center of the storm. In October 1789, Parisian women marched to Versailles, demanding bread. The royal family was forced to move to Paris under popular supervision. The monarchy continued, but as a prisoner of the capital. Trust collapsed. In 1791, a constitution attempted to limit royal power, but then came the event that shattered all confidence. On the night of June 20th to 21st, 1791, the royal family attempted to flee France. They were recognized, arrested in Varennes, and returned to Paris. From that moment, the king was no longer a symbol of unity. He became a suspect, and suspicion breeds extremism. European monarchies feared revolutionary contagion. France declared war on Austria in April 1792. Military failures fueled paranoia. A manifesto threatened Paris if harm came to the royal family. The population interpreted this as proof of royal betrayal. On August 10, 1792, revolutionaries stormed the Tuileries Palace. The monarchy was suspended. Days later, panic exploded into violence. Between September 2nd and 7th, 1792, crowds invaded Parisian prisons and murdered suspected enemies of the revolution. Fear overrode law. The revolution crossed a moral threshold. Soon after, France was declared a republic. The monarchy was formally abolished in September 1792. Louis XVI was tried for treason. On January 21st, 1793, he was executed by guillotine. Europe watched in shock. The sacred nature of kingship was destroyed. War intensified. Internal revolt spread. And from this chaos emerged the darkest phase. The monarchy was formally abolished in September 1792. Louis XVI was tried for treason. On January 21st, 1793, he was executed by guillotine. Europe watched in shock. The sacred nature of kingship was destroyed. War intensified. Internal revolt spread. And from this chaos emerged the darkest phase. In April 1793, the Committee of Public Safety was created to defend the Republic. It became a government of emergency. France was surrounded by enemies. Revolts burned inside its borders. Food shortages continued. The logic was ruthless. Eliminate internal enemies or the revolution would perish. Mass arrests followed. Revolutionary tribunals judged quickly. Executions became daily events. Tens of thousands died. At the center stood Maximilien Robespierre. The question dominating France was terrifying. How much blood does liberty require? In 1794, repression intensified. Trials accelerated. Defenses vanished. Fear consumed even revolutionary leaders. On July 27, 1794, known as 9 Thermidor, Robespierre was arrested. Days later, he was executed. The terror ended. The revolution had devoured one of its architects. After the terror, France recoiled from extremism. A new government, the Directory, took power. But corruption, instability, and war continued. The population no longer sought ideals alone. They wanted bread, security, peace. And in this vacuum of exhaustion, a man promising order would rise, Napoleon Bonaparte. The French Revolution did not merely topple a king, it destroyed an entire way of organizing society. It created the idea of citizenship. It made rights universal, and it proved that power was no longer sacred. It belonged to the people. The cost was enormous. Hunger, war, terror, blood. But the transformation was irreversible. Because once a people learns it can overthrow a throne, no throne ever sleeps peacefully again. Subscribe and continue the journey through the eras of war,